Hey guys, what's going on? Today I'm going to be doing a review of the kids game Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Clash Alley. Strategy board game for 2 to 4 players, ages 6 and up, and it's a kids game from Wonder Forge. So basically in this game, the point of the game is each player gets a mission card. And these mission cards correspond to the different missions that are placed on the board. So if you want to win the game, you have to move your character to the mission, play the get mission card, the go for mission card, which looks like this, and it be the correct mission that matches your mission, and then you get to pick it up and then get back to your corner of the board. So you're not really sure where your mission is among these 4 missions here. So you have to kind of go around and explore the different missions and then play the right card to pick it up and get back to your side of the board. So at the beginning of the game, each player gets one of these missions, and each person gets 2 of these cards, which are action cards. So each person would have like 2 of those. And then you start the game. You place all the villains on the board, which are these little guys. And there's little squares that show you where you place all those. So you basically mix those up and place them on the board. And these are going to be the villains that you can fight during the game. So what you're going to do is you're going to be trying to move around with dice. So it is roll and move. All right. And the different dice all correspond to different things. So the purple die is your run die. That's what you use to move different spaces on the grid that's on the board here. Then you have a climb die. So there's 3-dimensional terrain, and they're each different difficulty to climb up. So if I got a 1 climb, I'd only be able to climb on the shorter ones. It's kind of hard to tell with the camera above, but we have the shorter ones here. And then if you had a 2, you'd be able to climb on the ones that are a little bit taller. And then if you got a 3, you'd be able to climb up on the ones that are even taller than that. So, and then if you are here, it doesn't take as much to get up, so you can slowly climb as you're going along. So, or if you get lucky and roll that 3, you can jump all the way up here. And then the other die is your leap attack die. So this die is used for 2 different things. For one, you can use it to leap. So whenever you're on a terrain, on a 3 terrain, you can use it to move off. Like if I had a 6 leap here, I can move 6 spaces off the top of the piece here. You can never move over. Like I couldn't move this direction and leap up here out. Whenever you leap, you have to go down instead of going up. But yeah, and then you use the attack to try to fight off the villains, which have different numbers on them, anywhere from like 2 to I think it goes all the way up to like 8 or 10 or something like that. And then this has 1 through 6 on it. So you're most of the time either going to have to team up or use cards on the different villains to be able to defeat them. So everybody starts with 2 of these action cards. And these are very important because if you don't have the go for the mission action card, you can't even actually win the game. You have to have a go for mission and use it on a mission to be able to see what it is. And then if it's the right mission, then you can take it and put it into your hand. And then you can use that to go back to your place. So there's several different types of action cards. So you have attack bonus action cards. So these will add to your dice roll when you're fighting a villain. So say I had moved on top of this villain, and when I move on him, I would flip it over, and this guy's a 2. If I was afraid of rolling, whenever you fight a villain, you have to roll to higher than that number. So if I was afraid of not being able to beat him, like maybe I could play a 1, so that way only if I get a 1 will I tie him. Then I'd roll the dice, and oh, I got a 2, so it was lucky that I played this 1, or else I wouldn't have been able to beat this guy. Each of the villains have these little green marks on here, which show you how many action cards you get to draw. So to get more action cards in this game, you have to defeat villains. So I would get to draw 2 cards for defeating that guy, which is trying to basically look for more attack cards to be able to attack more villains, or hopefully the go for mission card, so that way you can actually successfully get the missions that you need. If you tie the villain when you're fighting them, then you basically just stay there and your attack was unsuccessful. But if you get lower than them, then you are basically knocked out, and you basically skip your next turn. But you can have these smoke bomb cards, which you can play whenever you get knocked out, and it basically makes it so that you move 5 spaces after losing an attack instead of skipping your turn. So sometimes losing an attack can actually help you move further. If it's really strong and you have only smoke bombs, you can play this to be able to run across the board as opposed to missing out on your next turn. But yeah, so I'll go over the different types of cards there are. So there are the attack cards, and then the smoke bomb card, which we just talked about. There are also these team-up cards you can play in combat. So what they do is they move another character to the same space as you to fight a villain. So this can really help you out by letting you roll to fight, have an extra die to roll to fight the villain, but also can mess other people up by if they're trying to get a mission, you can pull them over to where you are. So it's kind of got a little bit of take that while helping you out at the same time. Then there's swipe a card. So this lets you take another card from another player's hand, hopefully looking for cards that will help you out, like go for the mission and such, which you need to win the game. Spy. This card is really good, and you can play it to look at any of the missions, so you can see what is in that space, so that you're not wasting your time going to a space that doesn't have the mission you need. And then go for the mission is definitely one of the main cards, or the main card that you need. If you don't have one of these, you're not really going to be able to win the game. And then there are 3 other cards which basically help you out with movement. So these basically represent the same things as the movement die, but you can play them at any time during your turn. So you could climb 3, so that'll automatically let you climb up to the top of one of these, or run an extra 3, or leap 3 to jump off a thing. So a lot of this game is trying to figure out how to best use these dice in the right order to be able to move around. So maybe you have a climb 3, so you roll the dice, and you're trying to figure out how to get up to here with Donatello. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3. Maybe if you'd rolled a 4 instead, you could go a little bit further. But you can never go diagonal. You can only go vertical or whatever, or horizontal. You can't go diagonal across the board. So if you got 4, you could get here, and then maybe you want to play this climb 2 to climb up here, and then you could play like a run card to run even further. So it's all about trying to figure out how to move efficiently to be able to get where you're trying to go by using the dice in the right order to move as far as you can. The green dice also has a card symbol on it, which just allows you to draw a card whenever you roll that. But yeah, so you go around the board, fighting these guys off to hopefully get more cards, looking for the go for the mission cards, and then you want to get to where your character is standing on a mission, and you play it and say, my mission is the AI chip, and I play the go for the mission. I would peek at this, and oh, it's April, it's not the AI chip. I don't let anybody else know what this was after I do my go for the mission. And then I just turn it back down. And then you just turn it back down and don't show anybody what was there. And then you basically have to find another go for the mission card to be able to look at one of these other missions now that I know this is not the one that I need. And hopefully I can get to another place and look and see, oh, is this the AI chip? Nope, it's the pizza. Alright, so now I run over here and I got another go for the mission card, and I flip it over and, oh, there's the AI chip. I get to put it on my card, and now I have to get back to my corner of the board to win the game. So the first person to find the specific mission that they need and then get back to their corner of the board wins the game. But yeah, so there's all different strengths of villains too. So you're basically going to run around trying to fight these guys off as you go along and trying to find the strongest one. So the weakest ones are 2 and the strongest ones are 10. But also the stronger they are, the more of the green cards you'll have on there. So if I beat this guy, I'll only get 2 cards. If I beat this guy, I'll get 5, which if I don't find a go for the mission card within drawing 5 cards, that I'm pretty much hosed anyway. But yeah, so and to be able to beat somebody that's this strong, you'll definitely have to play team ups and attack bonuses and all that stuff to be able to do that. Also, when you play the team up, both players get the number of cards for beating the guy. So it actually that's the bonus of being able to play a team up card is that you also your opponent will also get to draw the cards for that. But the 4 different types of missions are the retrieve the AI chip, pick up pizza, find the mutagen, and find April. So basically those are the different things you're trying to get and get back to your corner. But yeah, so let's talk about what I think about the game. So yeah, basically the game is pretty interesting. I mean, as far as a kids game goes, it's very random. I mean, you're rolling lots of dice, and you're trying to find these missions that might not necessarily be close to you. So there's a lot of luck involved. If the mission that you need is right beside you and it's the first one you check, and then you're pretty much going to win the game. Like, that's pretty much all there is to it. Your opponents really don't have a whole lot of a chance to stop you once you found your own mission. They can try to play the team-up card and drag you over to their side of the board, so you have to run further away. But other than that, they're not really going to be able to do a whole lot to slow you down. And at that point, it's just luck. Also, if you're going through the deck, some people have to spend a lot of time fighting a whole bunch of bad guys because they can't find these cards, or they found these cards and then they looked and it wasn't the exact mission piece they needed, so then they have to go and fight more guys. And okay, we're going over here and we're going to look at it. Oh, it's not the one I need. Now I got to fight more guys to try to find more go for the mission cards. But as you fight guys off, you'll get a whole bunch of cards that allow you to combo it. I think the best part of the game is trying to figure out how to combo the dice with like the different cards to be able to move around the board, and having the different layers and like climbing up the thing and jumping off and landing on this bad guy and attacking him and things like that. It makes the game feel like you're a ninja as you're climbing around on these different things. So I feel like the theme comes through really strong as far as that goes, like how you're running around the board with the dice and playing these cards to be able to jump from one place to the other and figuring out how to best use your movement. It is a roll and move game, so it is what it is. And basically, I mean, this game is probably not going to be super exciting for any like hardcore gamer at all. But as far as a kids game goes, it's fairly simple, and it teaches some cool mechanics like moving around on a grid like you would get in like D&D 4th edition, and figuring out how to best use your movement dice is kind of cool, and going for specific quests and missions and things like that is pretty cool to teach for a kids game, but that's pretty much where it's going to stay is as far as kids go. This will be the kind of game that once my son gets older, I won't feel bad letting him play it with himself or with his friends or anything like that, just playing around with the stuff. One thing is, it's definitely adult assembly as far as these 3D pieces go. They're not difficult, like you don't need an engineering degree or anything, but they feel like they're a little bit fragile before you have them built. As far as like when you're building them, you just have to make sure you're doing it right. But after they're done, like kids should have no problem just throwing these on the board. And also it's modular, so you can once you've played the board one way, you can start to move these things around and try to mix up how the terrain looks on the board, which is really cool. And I mean, you could also use this in sort of like a Game World RPG map almost, because the grid is like the same size as a role-playing game would be. So that could actually be a lot of fun messing around with it like that. But if anybody has any questions or there's anything that I missed in the rules, let me know. But go ahead and feel free to check out the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Crash Alley. Jump around from location to location and smash some villains. Talk to you guys later. Peace.